Alright guys, welcome to break 163. Took a while to fill this one up, but we're here, we're ready to go. We have our 4 boxes ready. It is holidays, so kids are around. It is what it is, guys. I'm sure majority of you are in the same boat and understand. And unfortunately, I wouldn't change it for the world, so it is what it is. Our team list, I haven't done that. We do have it up. Our team list, Broncos, Lockie. Oh, hang on. No, not that one. I haven't updated it. We have Broncos. Hello, is this the right one? We just had a few changes. Let me change. Should we go? This one's right. Broncos, Lockie Allen. Raiders, Brendan. Bulldogs, Jai. Sharks, Chris. Titans, Lockie. Manly, Ray Steptoe. Storm, Andrew. Knights, Lockie. Cowboys, Patrick. Eels, Patrick. Panthers, Mel. Rabbitohs, Scott. Dragons, Scott. Roosters, Mel. Warriors, Patrick. Tigers, Andrew. Dad, door. Oh, itchy nose. Alright. We'll minimise that. I'm not sure if that team list is right, so we're going to ignore that one. And we are ready. First box, guys. Good luck, everyone. Rising Stars, Jason Saab for Manly. CSF Talakai, parallel for Sharks. Got a couple of breaks listed, 22 Elite pre-sales. We have an 8-spot pick your team draft pick. Isaiah Papali'i for the Eels, Club Heroes. Tigers parallel checklist. Rising Stars, Taylor May for Panthers. Micah Sivo, parallel for the Eels. If anyone's watching and tries to comment on Facebook, and has any issues, can you let us know, please? I only say this as my partner has let me know that she has issues commenting when we're live. Jaden Campbell, season to remember for the Titans. Andrew McCulloch, parallel for the Dragons. Cohen Hess, parallel for Cowboys. Jerome Luai, parallel for Panthers. Rising Stars, Toby Sexton for Titans. Katoni Staggs, parallel for Broncos. Season to remember, David Nofaluma for the Tigers. William Kennedy, parallel for the Sharks. Oh, one of those packs, there we go. Rising Stars, Dean Iremia for Storm. David Nofaluma, parallel for the Tigers. Rising Stars, Joseph Suwali for the Roosters. Jacob Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Yeah, that's what I've got, Mel. I was just double checking. High Performance, David Nofaluma for the Tigers. Christian Welsh, parallel for Storm. So I stopped at Macca's on the way here from my house with the girls. And then I marked off the last trades when I got here. But I didn't update them in my Word document that I keep. So I went to read them off the Word document and then realised, I went into a bit of a frazzle. But I just checked the group comment against what you posted in the comments and mine matched that. So Ben Hunt, Power Heroes for the Dragons. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Davey Mole for the Rabbits. Jared Wallace, parallel for the Titans. Retirement, Curtis Sirenen for Manly. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbits. High Performance, Alex Johnston for the Rabbitohs. Junior Paulo for the Eels. Jack Bird, parallel for the Dragons. Team High Performance for the Rabbitohs. Valentine Holmes, parallel for Cowboys. Power Heroes, Tommy Talau for the Tigers. And Daniel Tupou, parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Teague Wilton for the Sharks. Daniel Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. Like to welcome our new breakees. We've got a couple of new faces in the breaks. Thanks for joining in. Season to remember, Josh Curran for the Warriors. Harry Grant, parallel for Storm. A little bit over halfway in our first box, guys. We have 4 boxes in total. Edward Cossey, Rising Stars for the Warriors. Jake Trbojevic, parallel for Manly. No worries, Brendan. Glad to have you on board, mate. High Performance, Reece Welsh for the Warriors. Tohu Harris, parallel for the Warriors. And who do you follow, Brendan? Titans parallel. Yeah. I was just, when I get just the parallel, I second guess myself occasionally and just go through the. No, everything's good. Para, that's the way. Up the hills. High performance, Anari Tuala for the Knights. Tavita Totola, parallel for the Rabbits. So that's both our fresh faces today, Eels supporters, Jai and Brendan. Master and Apprentice, Blake Taff for the Rabbits. Jack Hetherington, parallel for the Bulldogs. I am a migrant to Queensland. Rising Stars, TC Rabuddy for the Broncos. Raiders parallel checklist. So if you're unaware, Brendan, anything that goes into the tray for your club is what gets sent out. This pile is just base cards, and we basically donate most of these to the young clubs. Season to remember, Brian To'o for Panthers. Because we get so many of these, we don't send them, include them to keep the postage prices down and just the overall cost. Chanel Harris Tavita for the Warriors. We do have complete base sets available if anyone is interested. Rising Stars, Jake Simpkin for the Tigers. Emery Gula, parallel for the Raiders. Yeah. Angus Crichton, parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Aaron Shoup for the Bulldogs. Liam Martin, parallel for Panthers. Master Apprentice, and Jake Arthur for the Eels. Tyson Gamble, parallel for the Broncos. Rising Stars, Hillam Lukey for the Cowboys. Toby Rudolph, parallel for the Sharks. We've got 4 packets left in our first box. Season to remember, Murray Talagi for the Cowboys. Stefano Utkamanu, parallel for Tigers. Season to remember, Jack Hetherington for the Bulldogs. Corey Waddell, parallel for the Bulldogs. Master Apprentice Black, Isaiah Yeo for the Panthers. Mitchell Moses, parallel for the Eels. And last packet for box number 1. Dragons parallel checklist. Alright, box number 2. Adam Fanua Blake, parallel for the Warriors. High performance, Brendan Smith for the Storm. Joey Manu, parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Hayes Dunster for the Eels. Latrell Mitchell, parallel for the Rabbitohs. There you go, there's controversy. I'm a Blues supporter, and I think Dad asked me about him playing in the next Blues, in the next State of Origin. I don't think he's played enough NRL this year to be able to, yeah, I don't think he should. Marston and Press, Jerome Hughes for Storm. Panthers parallel checklist. All for him last year and everything like that. I just don't think he's played enough NRL lately. I don't think he's ready for it at the moment. Rising Stars, Greg Marchu for the Titans. Patrick Carrigan, parallel for the Broncos. And seriously, where's Addo Carr? Why haven't we got Addo Carr? He should have been there in the second game, and he should be there in the third. Season to remember. Luke Brooks for the Tigers. Wade Graham, parallel for the Sharks. Kevin Proctor, parallel for the Titans. Dane Laurie, parallel for Tigers. Rising Stars, Trent LaRoe for the Storm. Clint Gutherson, parallel for the Eels. Master Apprentice, Kevin Proctor for the Titans. 6'8". Oh, yeah. Cody Ramsey, parallel for the Dragons. Well, here's another thing. Do you think if he was still at the Storm, it'd be, well, the Storm haven't really been on fire lately either, but season to remember, Daniel Saifiti for the Knights. Jason Saab, parallel for Manly. Luke Metcalf, Rising Stars for the Sharks. Jason Tormalolo, parallel for Panthers. Season to remember, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck for the Warriors. Tyson Frizzell, parallel for the Knights. Nathan Cleary, club hero for Panthers. Mitchell Pearce, parallel for the Knights. Bit slack in the Raiders pile at the moment, Brendan. Oh, there we go. Xavier Savage, Rising Stars for the Raiders. Kenny Bromwich, parallel for the Storm. Hopefully that means we're holding out for big things to come. Master Apprentice, Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs. Storm parallel checklist. Daly Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. Rising Stars, Durham and Moisey for the Knights. Cowboys parallel checklist. Roosters parallel checklist. Season to remember, Daly Cherry Evans for Manly. Isaiah Yeo, parallel for Panthers. Rising Stars, Josh Schuster for Manly. Herbie Farnworth, parallel for Broncos. High Performance, Isaiah Yeo for Panthers. Jesse Ramian, parallel for Sharks. Rising Stars, Jaden Sullivan for the Dragons. Jazz Tavega, parallel for the Warriors. Toby Rudolph, Power Heroes for Sharks. Alex Twile, parallel for Tigers. Foil Sig, Corey Thompson for the Titans, number 3. Nice low number. Lockie Allen, I believe. Pardon? Yeah, I'm not, that's Scott Longworth and Mel. I don't think use the Titans collectors. Reed Marnie, parallel for the Eels. Let us know. We may have someone interested. Rising Stars, Jermaine Hopgood for Panthers. Ben Hunt, parallel for the Dragons. Kieran Foran, Power Heroes for Manly. Jordan Rabiner, parallel for Raiders. Season to remember, Dave Fafita for Titans. Hammer Fido, parallel for Cowboys. Rising Stars, Sam Walker for the Roosters. Knights parallel checklist. High Performance, Isaac Liu for the Roosters. Jerome Hughes, parallel for Storm. Brad Parker, parallel for Manly. Team High Performance for the Titans. Brian Kelly, parallel for the Titans. High Performance, Andrew McCulloch for the Dragons. Nick Kotrick, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Blake Taff for the Rabbits. Why haven't I cleaned these up before I knock them over? Campbell Graham, parallel for the Rabbits. Season to remember, Jake Avarillo for the Bulldogs. Joe Stimson, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Zach Sini for the Tigers. Hudson Young, parallel for the Raiders. Third box now, which means we are halfway. We're 2 boxes through, 2 boxes to go. With retirement and a foil SIG. Rising Stars, Jason Saab for Manly. William Kennedy, parallel for the Sharks. Andrew McCulloch, Club Heroes for the Dragons. David Nofaluma, parallel for the Tigers. Season to remember, Jared Croker for the Raiders. Jack Hetherington, parallel for the Bulldogs. Rising Stars, Jake Simpkin for the Tigers. Raiders parallel checklist. High Performance, Wade Egan for the Warriors. Chanel Harris Tavita, parallel for the Warriors. Alexander Brimson, Power Heroes for the Titans. Angus Crichton, parallel for the Roosters. Liam Martin, parallel for Panthers. Rising Stars, Toby Sexton for the Titans. Tyson Gamble, parallel for Broncos. Season to remember, Reid Marnie for the Eels. Toby Rudolph, parallel for the Sharks. Rising Stars, Davy Mull for the Rabbits. Titans parallel checklist. Oh, doing well. 163 out of 250. Titans Premiership Predictor, Lockie Allen. Lockie on fire. 153. Tavita Totola, parallel for Rabbits. Rising Stars, Dino Remia for the Storm. Stefano Yufkamanu, parallel for the Tigers. High Performance, Damien Cook for the Rabbits. Mitchell Moses, parallel for the Eels. Dragons, parallel checklist. Team high performance for the Cowboys. Reece Robson, parallel for the Cowboys. Rising Stars, Taylor May for Panthers. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. Zach Lomax, parallel for the Dragons. Master Apprentice Black, Herbie Farmworth for the Broncos. Ryan Madison, parallel for the Eels. Alright, halfway through box number 3, guys. Box and a half to go. High performance, David Nofaluma for the Tigers. Harry Grant, parallel for the Storm. Power Heroes, Harry Grant for the Storm. Jake Trbojevic, parallel for Manly. Teague Wilton, Rising Stars for Sharks. Kalen Ponga, parallel for Knights. Season to remember, Zach Lomax for the Dragons. Ryan Pappenhausen, parallel for the Storm. Rising Stars, Edward Cossey for the Warriors. Josh Schuster, parallel for Manly. Corey Thompson, parallel for Titans. Rising Stars, Joseph Suwali for the Roosters. Daniel Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. High performance, Jaden Brayley for the Knights. Cameron Murray, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Master Apprentice Isaiah Yeo for the Panthers. Luke Thompson, parallel for Bulldogs. Rising Stars, TC Rabuddy for the Broncos. Josh Papali, parallel for the Raiders. Season to remember, Brett Morris for the Roosters. Warriors parallel checklist. No, it's all good. Valentine Holmes, parallel for the Cowboys. James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. Rising Stars, Aaron Shoup for the Bulldogs. Brian Tyler, parallel for Panthers. Master Apprentice, Valentine Holmes for the Cowboys. Thomas Flegler, parallel for Broncos. Season to remember, Ryan Pappenhausen for Storm. Jack Bird, parallel for Dragons. 2 packets left for box number 3. Rising Stars, Helam Lukey for the Cowboys. Sione Katoa, parallel for the Sharks. And last but not least, for box number 3, season to remember, Adam Reynolds for the Rabbits. Luciano Leilua, parallel for the Tigers. Alright, so we are up to box number 4. Rising Stars, Valemi Avile for the Warriors. Milwaukee Fodawaika, parallel for Titans. Helam Lukey, Club Heroes for the Cowboys. Damien Cook, parallel for the Rabbits. Rising Stars, Kobe Hetherington for the Broncos. Jake Averillo, parallel for the Bulldogs. Come on, Brendan, this is the last box, mate. Fingers crossed. And here we go. Season to remember, Sam Williams for the Raiders. The Dry Arrow, parallel for the Rabbits. Going to turn around for Brendan with the last box. Master Apprentice, Black Phoenix Crosslands for the Knights. Corey Allen, parallel for the Bulldogs. Joseph Tapine, parallel for the Raiders. Nathan Cleary, season to remember for Panthers. Jack Whiten, parallel for Raiders. Cody Nikorima, parallel for the Warriors. Rising Stars, Bailey Biondi Otto for the Bulldogs. Jared Herrera Hargreaves, parallel for the Roosters. By performance, Lachlan Croker for Manly. Valami Kickout, parallel for Panthers. You've already almost had as many cards in this box than what you had in all 3. Rising Stars, Lachlan Elias for the Rabbits. Big Tino, parallel for Titans. Power Heroes header A. So that'll be randomised between Broncos, Raiders, Bulldogs, Sharks, Titans, Manly, Storm and Knights. A Broncos parallel checklist. And header A helps make up the 9 card set for those 8 teams. And header B for the remaining. Rising Stars, Dejan Assi for the Cowboys. Matt Moylan, parallel for the Sharks. James Tarmo, parallel for Tigers. High performance, Blake Brayley for the Sharks. Adam Dewey, parallel for Tigers. I don't know, where's Nab? What?
On the phone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Marston Apprentice, Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs. Nathan Brown, parallel for the Eels. Rising Stars, Isaac Tago for Panthers. Mikhail Ravalawa, parallel for Dragons. Brett Morris, retirement for the Roosters. We also have a Sharks parallel checklist. No, for the Broncos.
No, for the Sharks.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you put it in the Sharks.
Oh, I don't know. Season to remember. Have a Fido for the Cowboys. Regan Campbell Gillard, parallel for the Eels. Marston Apprentice, Herbie Farnworth for the Broncos. Lachlan Croker, parallel for Manly. Will you get out of it? You can't eat it. It's plastic foil.
Yeah, and it's alright in the food.
When you've had enough food, you don't need to go eat things that you're not supposed to. Rising Stars, Matt Croker for the Knights. Josh Kerr, parallel for the Dragons. High performance, Mitch Rain for the Titans. Jake Granville, parallel for the Cowboys. Our heroes, Josh Papali for the Raiders. Jake Clifford, parallel for the Knights. Justin Olam, parallel for Storm. Rising Stars, Egan Butcher for the Roosters. Jesse Bromwich, parallel for Storm. Matthew Tomoko, Rising Stars for the Raiders. Manly parallel checklist. What are you trying to be YouTube famous or something, no? Yeah. Well, I don't think you're going to do it in my videos. Season to remember, Xavier Coates for the Broncos. Dave Fafita, parallel for the Titans. And you got to grab the face. Everyone can see you grab the face. Rising Star, Ruben Green for the Eels. Thomas Burgess, parallel for the Rabbits. High performance, Reid Marnie for the Eels. Jeremy Marshall King, parallel for the Bulldogs. Jaden Brayley, parallel for the Knights. Elliot Whitehead, parallel for Raiders. Team High Performance for the Broncos. Josh Curran, parallel for the Warriors. Rising Stars, Tyrell Sloan for the Dragons. Victor Radley, parallel for the Roosters. Season to remember, William Kennedy for the Sharks. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for Panthers. 2 packets left. Rising Stars, Ben Trbojevic for Manly. He's still a little bit grubby. Jordan Ricky, parallel for the Broncos. Last packet. We only have the one randomizer, which is for the Power Heroes header A. Season to remember, Jesse Bromwich for the Storm and Kyle Felt, parallel for Cowboys. Are you trying to copy me, are you?
Yeah. What's it doing?
Alright. So we'll flick over to our randomisation screen. Hopefully I've got the right screen up. We'll find out in a second. Nope. There we are. So we want them gone, which leaves us with the Broncos, Raiders, Bulldogs, Sharks, Titans, Manly, Storm and Knights. So number 1, number 2 and number 3. Alright guys, card going to the Broncos with Lockie Allen. So we'll put that back in there. Thank you to everyone for being a part of it. Big congratulations to Lockie. I think Lockie took away the most hits today. He did have a few teams, so it is understandable. But yeah, thanks guys. But that's it. That's all. Hope you had a ball.